Coming up, I shove a box, a BMW E24 in the wild, a cactus, and will it run?
Morgen, Frankfurt International Airport, going to our honeymoon to Hawaii with the wife. But what she doesn't know is that actually we are not going to Hawaii, we are going to Phoenix, Arizona, because a certain someone bought a broken V12 BMW. Look at her, completely clueless. I'm kidding, of course. I'd like not to get murdered before I get to Hawaii at least. But yeah, we're going on an adventure.
We made it to Phoenix, Arizona, and behind this cover sits an old friend in need. I just met the owner of this car, Doug. Nicest guy ever, super hospitable. My wife and I were planning our honeymoon in Hawaii when I got his email about this very car that's been sitting in this spot for about 7 years, and I just couldn't resist. It's, of course, an E31 850i with the 6-speed manual. And it's been dead for about 7 years. And now we are going to revive it and drive it back to LA. So Doug just told me that this cover has been on the car for about 6-7 years. The reason it was parked is bad general module. It was draining batteries so badly and he couldn't find the right person to fix it, so he just parked the car. And this is a black on black, as you can see, a 6-speed manual 850i, clean title. Second owner, well technically one owner, because the first owner was the company that Doug worked for and then he got the car from them. 87,000 miles, absolutely beautiful car. I mean, look at this. The paint is even nice and shiny. At the first glance, it looks quite good. Lots of door dings though, but all of that can be solved with PDR. And the party piece is inside. Of course, a 6-speed manual. This is my 6th or 7th E31 with the 6-speed manual. Yes, beautiful. I can't wait to drive this car. These are all the boxes that I sent to Doug's house, and we are going to revive this car right here and drive it out of here. I am working again with our friends from Bima World, and they supplied all of the parts, pretty much all of the parts needed to put this thing back on the road. So here's the plan. My better half and I are flying out to Hawaii on Wednesday morning. It is currently Sunday afternoon, so effectively I have today and tomorrow to get this car running and driving back on the road, and on Tuesday we gotta drive back to LA, and then on Wednesday morning we fly out. So we're gonna do the usual to get this car back on the road after a long slumber. I'm thinking let's start with the general module, new batteries, and take it from there. We need to dig out the toolkit that I sent. Here it is. I couldn't find a proper toolkit on Amazon or eBay here, so I sent this one out from Europe. My friend Z from Tennessee helped me get this toolkit. It was shipped from the UK, and this is a nice toolkit. KS Tools, they make decent quality tools, and I wanted the toolkit to have here because this is not gonna be the last car that I'm going to work on and revive in the States, so I'm gonna be keeping this. It's a nice comprehensive toolkit. Nice ratchets as well. Should get the job done. And this is only, was it 90 or 100 euros? Something like that. For a decent toolkit, that is a great deal. Look at this. All of the keys. 3 main ones, a valet key. It has 5 keys. 5. So let's get the batteries out. I want to get this car up and running today. We got to hustle a bit because, as I said, we only have 2 days to get this car back on the road because we can't miss that flight. It's just not an option. If I can't get the car running and driving, it's going to have to stay here and I'm going to have to send a tow truck to pick it up. Lay it on the side like that. What a clean car. So this car has 2 batteries.
one on each side. Here's the one, properly big. Actually, it doesn't need to be this big. Looks super clean in here, not a speck of rust anywhere. Sometimes that's a problem because the battery will leak and it'll eat the metal in here. But here, perfect. And the second one is out as well. So I shipped and brought a ton of stuff with me, like ignition wires, fuel pump tool, clean fuel injectors, and a bunch of other stuff in these boxes here because I wanted to make sure that I have absolutely everything that can potentially stop us from driving this car. And here we have a general module, a replacement one. So this is a quite common issue on the E31. Whenever they have this parasitic battery drain, it's always the general module because it has 5 capacitors inside that after 30 years go bad, and they can drain both of the batteries on this car within a day. So you essentially can't use the car. So this is a used one that I bought and serviced back home, replaced those 5 capacitors. So now we're gonna remove the one that's in the car and pop this one in, and that should take care of that issue. The general module lives underneath of the dash, so we need to remove this trim piece here, and then this plastic here, and then we can get to it. I ordered a bunch of tools and stuff from Amazon because Doug, he's moving actually in 3 weeks, and he already shipped out all of these tools, so there's nothing here, so I have to buy everything. I'm gonna need a screwdriver, and I got myself a toolbox so you can keep everything somewhat organized. But now that I'm seeing it, it's quite small, isn't it? Yeah, that's not great. Okay, let's get this trim off. And add a trim piece. Wait a minute, what is this? The European E31 doesn't have this. Why is there a metal plate here? This thing even has the original floor mats. Deduct. Okay, you gotta remove this knee bolster here. It's held in with 3 10mm bolts. With that removed, now we have a clear shot at the GM. This is, I believe, the light control module, and this is the GM here, the second one in the bracket here. Success! So this is the cause of this car being parked for 7 years. General module, and here's the one that I brought with me. They have the same part number. Cool. So I'll show you this repair on Project Marseille. We gotta do it on that car as well. It's pretty simple. You just need a good soldering iron and new capacitors. All right, let's put the new batteries in and see how much bad fuel we have in the fuel tank. So as I already mentioned, Beamer World is yet again supporting my American adventure, and I love working with them. Their team is fantastic. I told them what I'm doing, and I sent a big parts list to Phil, and I wasn't sure if they're gonna be able to find everything for this car because it's old, a lot of the parts are NLA, but he managed to find pretty much everything for this car. So we have 1, 2, 3 big boxes of parts from Beamer World, and their customer service is bare none. Honestly, if you're in the States, even outside of the States, and you're looking for a reliable company that has great customer service, great parts and knowledge, they actually race their cars, and their knowledge is just amazing. I even ordered parts from them back home. Shipping to Germany takes about 3 to 5 working days, so it's really not that bad, and they have a phenomenal choice, especially if you're into tracking your car or racing your car. They have an impeccable choice of upgrades, and as I said, they have original parts as well. So I'm gonna leave the link in the description to their website. Go over there, buy something, tell them that I sent you, show them some love, and hopefully they wanna support me again when I do this with another car in the States. So to the entire Beamer World team, thank you so much for supporting me yet again. But wait, Beamer World has gone the extra mile by offering a 5% discount on your order using the link in the description. This is their first time doing this, so let's show them that it's worth their while. So I ordered so many parts from them. We're not gonna be able to replace all of them, but if one of those parts, for example, the radiator, has a hole, I need to have it to replace it, otherwise I can't drive this car. But if the radiator is good, I'm not gonna replace it because I don't really wanna drain the coolant here in this garage. It's not gonna be nice. I don't wanna ruin this garage here. So I think we need to run to the parts store and grab the battery. I thought I ordered one from Beamer World. Yes, it didn't.
O'Reilly!
Oh.
Hello. 2 batteries. I can return the old ones, right? Or
Yeah, go ahead and send them right there if you'd like.
all right. 1991 BMW 850i. If you have smaller ones, that's fine. Yeah,
All
2
right,
of
let me
those.
go grab.
Thank you. Oh yeah, those are the smaller ones. But they'll work, yeah. E31 doesn't need massive batteries like this. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so I learned that the batteries are outrageously expensive here. Over 200 bucks for this Superstar Premium. The same battery would cost you 70 euros in Europe. I gotta connect the vent hose. That's in. First connect the positive side. Now connect the positive side on the other battery as well. Connect the negative cable. And we have signs of life. That's the batteries installed. What is that noise? Half a fuel tank of fuel, 87,449 miles. How about the clutch? Do we have a clutch? We do. It feels a bit spongy, but you know, it's fine. Okay, after 7 years, that fuel is not gonna be good. The next step in getting this car up and running is the fuel system. And I ordered a brand new fuel pump from Ed. It's right over there, that's the upgraded fuel pump. But Doug just gave me this invoice. This is the last service that the car had in 2013. And look here, fuel pump assembly, fuel sender seal. So they replaced the fuel pump in 2013, so that's likely good. My fear was if it had the original 30-year-old fuel pump, then you know that's just going to be bad. They also did diff fluid, coolant, transmission fluid, performance chip. That's the only mod that this car has, which is a nice one. And then, you know, just some other stuff like control arms, bushings, alignment. It came up to nearly 1,500 bucks. So with that in mind, I don't think we need to replace the fuel pump. We just need to take care of the old fuel. After 7 years, doubtful that's any good. Let's pop the hood open. I didn't even look what's happening there. Oh yeah, dusty and original, just how I like it. Here's what I'm thinking. Let's remove one of the fuel lines on the back of the fuel rail, flip the key on and see if we're getting fuel and see if the fuel is any good. If it stinks, then we absolutely have to drain that fuel tank. But if it smells fine, then we can maybe get away with just mixing that old fuel with fresh fuel. Oh, we're gonna have to replace both of these fuel lines. They are cracked. So let's get the cabin air filter box out of the way. That's the thing, all of these fuel lines, they are 30 years old. Let's see this one here. Oh, these look nice. These are nice and soft here. These two must have been replaced. Look here, those rubber fuel lines are ready to pop. We need to replace them. There's the fuel. Doesn't smell varnishy, but it doesn't smell fresh, which is what you would expect after 7 years. So the fuel lines that go through the fender down here, they actually look good. They're nice and soft, no cracks. Because this here, these are not original lines. Yeah, this is not. These are some poor quality lines that someone used here. So Beamer World sent me original fuel lines, so fantastic quality. Let's connect one here. And then the other end in this water bottle. Now gonna flip the key and let's see if we get fuel. Being jet lagged and tired, I've forgotten that the fuel pumps on E31 only run when you start cranking the engine, not when you turn the ignition on like on modern cars. So next I wanted to access the fuel pump. First we need to remove this panel here. So I just talked to the owner, and that beeping thing that we heard earlier, that's the radar system, radar detector system. Wow, we have the original first aid kit. Look at that. This window here doesn't work. It won't go down. Let's remove the cover. Original hard as a rock fuel lines that we'll need to replace. I need a piece of wire so I can test the fuel pumps. Doug doesn't have any, so I destroyed one of my USB cables. All right, that will get the job done. And yep, I don't know if you can hear that. the pumps are fully functional. We confirmed that the fuel pumps are fully functional and working. Got a bit of fuel here from when I was manually running them. I've been working on so many modern cars lately that I forgot how the fuel system on the E31 actually works. When you flip the key to position 2, it won't activate the fuel pumps. You have to start cranking the engine and then it's going to start pumping fuel. So here it is. This smells not like fuel anymore. It has kind of very weak smell. It's not varnishy, which is really good, but there's not a lot of octane left in here. Here's what I'm thinking. Let's drain the fuel using the fuel pumps. So I'm going to connect a fuel hose here and then manually run the pump and then pump the fuel into this bucket here. There we go. There's fuel. So I'm going to continue doing that until this bucket is full. We don't have to get all of it out. As I said, it's not varnished. We just need to get it low enough to where we can mix it with fresh fuel. Okay, I finished draining the fuel. I got, I don't know how much fuel out, but it's close to reserve now. So that's good enough. We can just add fresh fuel and it'll be ready to fire. Since we're already here, now I'm going to replace the 2 fuel lines here that are very hard and brittle. Don't want to have a fuel leak here. For that, I specifically brought my tiny hazard ratchet because these can be very tricky to access. And the second one. Here's the fresh fuel line. Beamer World also sent me clamps. Here are the new clamps. So I just met the son of the owner of the car and he thinks it's been about 10 years since the car was last driven and that he was the last one that drove it. That's the fuel lines done. I'm gonna replace the 2 fuel lines here. Now we're gonna check the oil level. Near max, so that's good, and the oil looks great. So for the first start, we are not going to change the oil because there's nothing wrong with this oil. It's totally fine to run it for 10-15 minutes, get it nice and warm, and then we're gonna replace the oil. Let's check the coolant. Hopefully that's good because I really don't feel like draining the coolant. It's a little bit low and it's green coolant, so wrong type of coolant in there, which means I can't mix it up with the coolant that I have. So we're gonna add a bit of water. So it's a little bit low, so I can top it off with water. And that's on max now. Let's check the power steering fluid. To check the power steering fluid, you have to pump the brake pedal about 10 times. And then the fluid level is gonna come up in the reservoir. That's plumb full. And it looks sort of greenish / black. So I'm not sure if they mixed it with ATF because this car uses pentazene CHF 7.1 fluid. And this is full. So what happens if I were to pump the brakes a bit more? Oh yeah, so someone already pumped up the brakes. Got fresh fuel here. No, this is that weird American bottle that everyone complains about. So I guess we have to press this. Okay. Okay, it's going in. Now this smells like proper fuel. If you watched my previous survival videos of these old cars, you know I'm pretty adamant and that I have certain steps that I take before I flip the key. In case of this car, I don't have a ton of time, so I'm not going to be doing everything that I typically do when I'm back in the shop. So for example, the fuel filters, if the car is running, I might leave them alone because I don't have time to replace them. It's a bit of a faff to do it on this car. Then the big one, I typically remove all of the spark plugs and spritz some fogging oil from men into the cylinders. Here I'm going to skip that step because the car has been stored in ideal conditions indoors. And also it's an aluminum block with aluminum pistons, so there can't be any rust in the cylinders. So at this point, we are ready to flip the key and see if this thing is gonna come back to life. Doc told me it's been about 7 years, and now his son told me it's been about 10 years since this car was last driven. Let's do it. Also, you like the shirt? Yeah, you can grab it on the M539. Grab the key. Come on. Okay. Give it a rest. Almost. Come on. That's the power steering pump. It's running. It's alive. Doug, the owner, is behind the camera as well. He's excited. Car is up and running. Works like a dream. Listen to that idle. It's firing on all 12 cylinders. It's gonna run even better once we have a full tank of fuel of good fuel. All right, let's shut it down, drain the oil, and I wanna remove this vent clutch ASAP because that's about to blow up in my face. It's amazing, huh? Thank you as well for the opportunity. Thank you for reaching out. This is what I love to do. This is bringing the car back to life after a long time of standstill. That's one of my favorite things to do. Like to hear it run.
I can't thank you.
Thank you as
so
well.
Happy.
Well, that makes me happy as well. Beautiful car. I can't believe how good it runs.
Well,
You took good care of
it
it.
goes to you.
Well, it goes to you as well. You took good care of it. You parked it because of an issue that you couldn't solve, but you did good maintenance on the car. I really didn't have to do a lot of work to get it running. Normally when I find one of these cars that's been sitting for 10 years or whatever, I have to go through everything. Everything. In this case, all I did is essentially replace the fuel, a couple of bad fuel lines, and it's back running again. Well, the general module as well for the electronics, but I mean, the car is in good shape, and for it to start like that and to work that smooth, so everything is in order. Spark plugs, fuel injectors, everything is working as it should. You can drive the car as well before I leave, or...
That's not, no, I'm a rather sick guy.
Ah, okay. Well, then you're gonna drive in the passenger seat, at the very least, if you're up for it.
And over in the glove box, I think there's the remainder of the dine-in chips.
Oh, okay. So dine-in chips. Oh, nice.
This car never was out of the garage unless it was being driven. I can't thank you enough.
Oh, my pleasure.
I feel so fortunate that I came across you. Actually, it was a guy who responded to something I wrote in the E31 forum, and he said to me, "Go check out M539."
Yeah.
I go, "What the and please, please, please let this guy be interested."
To me, this is, I could do this all day long. This is all I could do. Just fix cars.
Well, yeah, honestly, the guy, my boss who had this for the first year, I think the only thing he did was put in the radar system. And even when I got a small crack in the windshield, I refused to pull the windshield out because I didn't want those stickers
To go away.
to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
away.
yeah, yeah. So I think, let's see if it drives actually. On the button. Okay, reverse. And we have brakes as well. And the mirror is working. A fully functional car. I mean, listen to the engine, how good it works, how smooth it works. First time running in so many years, and it runs so smooth. Bit of condensation, which is absolutely normal after so many years of sitting, but not smoking, not misfiring. The easiest E31 I ever had to revive. The clicking sound that you're hearing, that's just fuel injectors working and clicking away.
And I'm pretty sure they did the belts also on the car.
Belts as well. It's up to temp now, so we can drain the oil. Doug is absolutely amazing. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He made us croissants, bagels. He's fine with me working on the car right over here. Jack stands. And because I know E31s that well, I told Beamer World to send me jack pads. And I just checked, all 4 of them are missing. It is so common for them to be missing on the E31s, so I got all 4 brand new. They just clip into place. Let's remove the oil filter so that the oil from the oil filter housing can drain into the pan. Even the bushings on the oil filter housing are good. Put the cap back on. Gonna get a jack stand over there, so we get it underneath of the chassis rail. Drain pan. So here's a quick glimpse of underneath. We do have some sort of oil leak in the back. Surprise, surprise! But I would say nothing alarming because the carton here is dry. So it's not an active drip. There's the drain plug. And there it is. For the oil, Liqui-Moly got us covered. 10W40 with the MOS2 additive.
good stuff. We have injector or the fuel system cleaner that we're gonna put a bit later once the tank is full. Forgot to buy brake cleaner. Nick went to the store to grab some brake cleaner though. So while the car is sort of up in the air, I'm gonna go take a look at the fuel filters. Maybe someone replaced them at some point. It appears that we have a leak from the fuel filters, so we're gonna have to do that, whether I want it to or not. Oh no. Careful, don't spill it. Place the O-ring. New filter. Gonna lube up the O-ring, pre-lube the oil filter, and the oil is gray because it has the MOS2 additive in it. And this is a fantastic oil for this engine because it's half mineral, half synthetic. And remember, this engine was developed to run on mineral oil. Running this is really good for the paper gaskets, which, as you may know, this car has many of them. It's missing a collection tray here that goes underneath of the oil cap. I also have a new water pump, thermostat, radiator, all of the coolant hoses. But again, I don't have time to replace all of that. We are going to remove the fan clutch that I absolutely have to replace. Bought a fan clutch tool on Amazon. These are never perfect, but typically they get the job done. The water pump pulley bolts are loose. Ah, yes. Well, actually, it's been replaced, but no name fan clutch. So the belts actually look really good, but let's remove the belts and inspect the pulleys. See the pulley? Pulley is brand new. I think they changed the tensioners as well. Yeah, this pulley is good as well. So all of this was serviced. Man, I really don't have a lot of work here, do I? You know, I have new belts anyway, and this is like super cheap, like $10, so I'm gonna throw in new belts just for the sake of it. But the pulleys and tensioners, everything feels good. Huh, looks like they hooked me up with original parts, original belts. Thank you, Beamworld. Let's check the water pump. Feels absolutely fine. There it is. Now the fan clutch, brand new original fan blades, and Zach's OE fan clutch. Made in Germany. Need the bolts from the old fan clutch. Let's tighten up the water pump pulley bolts. Oh, two of them completely loose. Nope, I put it the other way around. Oops! I put the fan blades the wrong way around. That's what being jet lagged does to you. Just do this, nothing more. So let's check the power steering fluid again. I would like to withdraw at least a couple of times the fluid and put fresh stuff in. So remove the mesh. I'm gonna pump the brake pedal so we can empty the pressure accumulator until the pedal becomes firm. Then we know it's empty. Looks like the hydraulic system is working properly. So let's get that stuff out. I have this siphon pump. Oh, this thing is actually working pretty good. So I'm gonna repeat this process a few times. Remove old fluid. This is the correct hydraulic fluid for this car that we got from Beamworld, CHF 7.1. Nick and my better half are here. A clean mesh filter with a fresh brake cleaner that Nick just brought. And the other one? Jeez, $11 for brake cleaner. The US is expensive, man. Perfect. Let's get this bundle of joy going again. Oh, I forgot to test the most important thing. The pop-up headlights. They are working. Just listen to it. It works so good. All right, now we're gonna go grab some dinner and then I'm gonna be back later and continue working on this thing. I think we're gonna have to do the fuel filters after all. Might have a minor leak from there. Smells good. Sounds manly. Smell of manlyhood. Engineering. We'll continue once I'm back. I'm back. Have Olive Garden in my tummy. Feels good. It's 9:15 p.m., which puts it about 5:15 a.m. my time. Feeling slightly tired, but not too bad. So we're gonna continue and work a bit more. I wanna get as much as possible done today. And then tomorrow morning we need to take the wheels off and taken to the tire shop. So now what we're gonna do is the fuel filters. I noticed a fuel leak here earlier when the car was running. Maybe it's coming from the top, I don't know, but these are not the original fuel lines. So we're gonna get the entire fuel filter assembly, replace all of these lines, clamps, and hopefully it's not going to leak anymore. But I mean, look at the underside of this car. It is so clean. There is no rust absolutely anywhere. Break the seal. So I'm gonna put a bit of tape on the line, and this way I know where which line goes. 2004. Here are the new fuel filters. Let's replace the lines one by one. Pay attention to the orientation. This is out. These lines here on the top look original. They're hard as a rock. So original fuel filters from 2004. Get this one in. Beautiful. That's done. So that's all nicely done. There's another rubber fuel line here in front of the rear right wheel. It's a return line. So this is the original fuel line, and it's plastic at this point. It's not rubber anymore. A very high probability that this one will leak. Okay. There's another rubber fuel line here below the seat that connects the fuel sender unit. So there are two lines here, the smaller one and the bigger one. The bigger one, unfortunately, I don't have that type of hose here, but I think that's just a vacuum line, if memory serves me right. It's for like fuel vapors and stuff. That's the rubber fuel line on this side replaced as well. This is the vacuum line, like I said, a bit bigger line. Don't have that with me, so I can't replace it. But this one was really tricky to get to this clamp here, and my tiny hazard ratchet really saved me here. Without that thing, I wouldn't be able to replace this line. There's another rubber fuel line in the engine bay. This is the return line on the passenger side, and this one feels fine. It's not plastic and hard as a rock, so I think we're gonna leave this one alone because it has these swoopy lines here that I won't be able to replicate with normal fuel lines. So that one is good. Same as with the two lines on the other side that go through the fender and down underneath of the car. It's getting pretty late. It's almost midnight, and before I go to bed, let's whip the wheels off so in the morning I can drop them off with the tire shop and they can install new tires. These are just really old and flat spotted. There's no way I can drive with these tires. I found this in the trunk, the original tool for removing wheel caps, and it looks brand new. It was never used. It doesn't have a single mark on it. So let's be gentle here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen the bolts all around. Now I need to put the car on jack stands. I think I should have removed the wheels in the front first. Yep. The lock bolts are brand new. The rotors are brand spanking new. No lip here as well as the pads. Nice and thick. This will clean up as soon as we start driving. Brake lines, probably old and original. Shocks, these are standard shocks. This car doesn't have EDC shocks. The bump stop is disintegrating, but I don't see that the shock leaked out, which is good. It's resting on the jack stands. This car is so clean and original. It's pretty remarkable, the condition. The rear rotors, a very, very tiny lip, but that's nothing. These are in great shape, and then plenty of pad material left. So the brakes are in good condition. The shock, this is original shock. Bogey. Had no idea they were orange. And as you can see, the bump stop is pretty much gone. But surprisingly, this shock didn't leak out. It's officially past midnight. I think that'll do it for today. I'm exhausted. We got a lot done today. The car is running and it's running brilliantly. So tomorrow, first thing, take this to the tire shop, and then we need to bleed the brakes. That's the big one. But I know that the brakes are working. The brake fluid looks awful. So we'll definitely bleed the brakes and maybe replace the brake lines as well. And then we need to go for a test drive. I would also love to do like a tune-up, ignition wires, spark plugs, distributor cap, but we'll see if I'm gonna have time for that tomorrow or we do it at a later stage. The important thing is to drive the car tomorrow, drive it up and down the street, just make sure that it's working properly, that it doesn't have any serious issues, and that it can get us to California. So have a good night, and I'll see you in the morning.
Top of the morning to you. I got some much needed rest, and now we're gonna load up the wheels in Nick's Jeep so he can go out and sort them out. Think we need to go to Big Brand or Discount Tire. I don't know, I made an appointment like a month ago. In the meantime, we can fiddle with the car. Think they'll fit. A bit of a problem with the tires. I made the appointment a month ago with the tire shop, but turns out I made the appointment in Colorado, not Phoenix, Arizona. So that's great. I just called them and thankfully they will be able to get the right tire size today, just not the same brand that I ordered, but it's gonna be done today by 6 p.m. So that's good. Anyway, onto the brakes, got new brake lines here. I just closely inspected the brake lines on the car and the rubber has a ton of cracks, so I don't feel that safe driving with that. So we're gonna replace them first and then flush the brake fluid. I just went to O'Reilly's and naturally I forgot to buy the right size flared wrench for the brake lines. Doesn't look that rusty, so hopefully it comes off. Let's see. Aha. Now, of course, clean around the perimeter. Here's the new one, E31 850i. All 4 brake lines done, and look how dry rotted they are. I'm very glad that we did this, and it went very smoothly. Benefits of working on a rust-free car. Now I need to withdraw the old brake fluid. It doesn't look terrible. It's not good, but it's not the worst brake fluid I've seen. Got fresh .4 fluid here. Connection. I bought a power bleeder on Amazon. Pesico, whatever. Comes with everything, even the funnel, which I didn't spot earlier. Fill it up with brake fluid. Let's bleed the brakes. My favorite activity. Like going to the bathroom without your phone. We're gonna go with 634 PSI. We're gonna start in the rear right. There it goes. We have a nice flow here. And success! We have brakes all around. This brake bleeder is actually fantastic. Better than the one that I have back home. Can recommend Pesico. Let's replace the engine air filters, and I also want to remove the distributor caps and inspect them. If they're old, maybe original or bad, I have new ones to replace them. Vicks. A little bit dirty, but not terrible. Overall clean. Oh yeah, we're gonna replace this. Is there a date? 1990! These are the original distributor caps. Let's definitely do that service. It's gonna run miles better after that. So let's disconnect the ignition wires. Got a Sharpie here. These are worn out. And there's the date, 1990. Let's remove the rotor as well. You can see that the condition of the distributor and the rotor arm is really bad. New OE Bosch parts. A new filter. Good. I'm gonna copy paste on the other side. I was in such hurry yesterday to start working on the car. I didn't even take a minute to kind of stop and look over things, and look what I found. This is the toolkit, and it is 101% complete. Nothing is missing. And do you know what this is? This is the original BMW cloth. They no longer make this. This is like gold. You can't find this anymore. Only reproduction stuff. but everything is here and look how perfect it looks. Do you know what this is? This is the spark plug tool for the M70. Change spark plugs with this. Ain't that neat? And if you look under the carpet here, the spare tire, never used. Not once. Look at the hole here where the bolts go. Not a scratch. This thing was never used. No marks or anything. Still has the original Uniroyal tire. It's such a beautiful and original car. I believe the paint is original as well. It wasn't repainted, which is really remarkable. Look at this. The original CD changer. Fully functional. Anyway, now I'm gonna grab Doug and we're gonna run to the DMV. I need to pull this plate off and then I'm gonna get the 90-day permit to drive out of state. I'm going through the car and look what I found. The missing cover for the battery post in the engine bay. The old original touch-up pen. The original leather pouch for the key, unused, brand new in the bag. These are the performance chips from Dynan that were installed. And then in here, original light. It doesn't work, but it's there. And then all of the books are here, everything. All of it, the owner's manual, absolutely everything is here. This car is something else. What a find. Service booklet. Don't think they use that. Oh, they do here. So it's essentially a one-owner car. It was first owned by Doug's company that he worked for, and then he got the car. Let's put back this cover here. So Doug had the car registered every single year, even though he wasn't using the car. So that's why it says 18 here, but the last time he was on the road, according to his son, was about 10 years ago. And I just confirmed with him, this is all original paint. The car was never painted. Amazing. So here's the 90-day non-resident permit. Gonna use a bit of tape. This is the copy, by the way. The original I'm gonna put on the rear window. We have one very common and typical issue on the E31. The seat twist, where only one side of the seat moves. And this is a problem because after Hawaii, we're gonna have another person in the car, Maria's sister. And she needs to sit in the back, and at the moment, the seat is all the way backwards. So there is no leg room. And the same thing is happening with the driver's seat as well. So we need to fix this somehow. Normally this is a super easy fix if you can get the seat out. Then I can just trim the cable, put it back in the motor, and here I'm gonna remove the trim in the front and see if I can access this somehow. And I can see the motor, phenomenal. So we can actually do this repair right here. So that's the motor that powers the seat, and these are the cables. And once the motor starts spinning the seats, it pulls on the cables, and then the seat moves forward, backwards, up and down. So this is the cable that we're having an issue with. This one on the right side, it's not working. So what we need to do now is position the seat perfectly flat, leveled if you will, and then I'm gonna pull out this cable here. Then we can shorten this cable sheet here, pop it back in, and the seat is gonna work again. Now I can pull out the cable. Yeah, that's the issue. This cable here is too short and it's not engaging with the motor inside. So what we're gonna do is pretty simple. We're gonna heat this up and then pull this off, this sleeve here, and then shorten this, well, sheeting protection thing around the cable. Just went to Circle K to grab the lighter. Looks like beer. I like it. So we need to heat up this sleeve here and pull it off. There it is. And now we're gonna trim this by maybe 15 centimeters. I think I'll do it here. Cool. So heat this up again. Okay. Nice and hot. Don't forget to put this back in. And now we can pop this back into the motor. Up and down function is now fully restored. But front and back isn't. For that I need to remove the seat and get to this cable here, and I don't have time to do that, so it is what it is. I'm just gonna manually move the seat forward so another person can sit in the back. The wheels are back with brand new tires. These are Nexen NP PRIZ something, whatever. I initially ordered Goodyear tires. They didn't have that in stock here, so this is the only thing that I could get my hands on. These are my least favorite E31 wheels, but they're original to the car, so down it goes. Now I need to torque the wheels. Click, 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 click. The old elbow torque wrench never disappoints. And with that, we are ready for the first drive. I'm gonna go call Doug so you can see the car driving out. There we go. Clutch feels good. Brakes are working. Haha! It's out! Now we're gonna go for a quick spin down the block, just see how the car is behaving, if everything is working as it should. There we go. Oh, the windows are really, really dirty. This mirror is not good. It's very flimsy. I haven't even checked if the lights are working. I know that the headlights are working. But it's back on the road. Yes! Yes! I gotta admit, I was a bit nervous because I hate when I have a deadline and when I have to rush and when I have to skip certain things in order to make it on time. But this worked out brilliantly. I mean, look at this car. Look at this thing. Drives straight as an arrow. I can't speed here because this is a gated community and they have a speed limit of about 25, 30 miles, 35 miles. But come on! 7 whatever years off the road, 7 to 10 years, let's call it that, and it feels freaking awesome. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the house, and Doug unfortunately can't drive the car, he's ill, but I promised him that I'm gonna take him for a drive. He's gonna sit in the passenger seat and we're gonna go for a quick drive around the block. I have no words for that. What a gentleman. Huge thank you for everything. He is incredibly hospitable, like one of the nicest people you will ever meet. He put up with my crap. I sent a ton of boxes to his house and then I was working until 1 a.m. last night. So thank you again, Doug, and to your family. Oh, it pulls, it goes. Feeling a bit tired earlier, but now feeling freaking fantastic. No weird noises. The suspension is, you know, it's good. It's floaty, but this car is floaty from the factory. It's very, you know, comfy ride, which I do like. There you go. It is very smooth.
Wow.
It's like it was parked yesterday.
I am so grateful.
Thank you for the opportunity as well, for reaching out. Thank you.
Thank you for saving it.
Oh, absolutely. I'd save all of them.
Go to your front door in about a minute and a half.
The engine is beautiful. I love these engines. They're so robust. They can sit for so long, and you just do simple maintenance and the car is back in the game. All right. Well, guess who's alive?
Awesome.
Yeah, we just went for a quick spin.
It sounds better too. It's a lot quieter.
Is it?
Yeah, it was a little bit louder than this before.
Would you like to drive it a little bit?
No.
Sure?
Baby's asleep, so.
Okay.
Good deal. Well,
Yeah.
enjoy.
Thank you very much. Oh, it has heated seats as well. Look at that. Maria's gonna love that. And thank you again for everything. Thank you for your hospitality. This is absolutely unbelievable. This is,
Well,
thank
you're a
you.
godsend.
I think a sticker is in order. Thank you again. Beamer World. Love you guys. All right, it's time to pack. We're all packed. The car is full to the brim. And now we're gonna head out and go to the gas station. So as you can see, I forgot to buy wiper blades. And the O'Reillys that I went to earlier, they didn't have any for this car. And then I thought to myself, how often does it rain in Arizona and California? And here we are. I hate auto. What was that noise? Sick and tired of me? Divorce? On the road with the 8 Series. And keep in mind, this car was dead yesterday. And
today it's back on the road. Need to grab the fuel injector cleaner. Here it is. Drink up. Premium. You're not holding the phone straight. Not a very good, no, not like that. It's the other way around. Not a very good cameraman, are you? I'm getting the look. We're heading out to Scottsdale for dinner to celebrate the revival of this car. Going on the highway. Okay, let's give it a bit of throttle. Third gear. Yes, it goes. It goes beautifully, actually. It's driving wonderfully. Fourth gear, throttle, pulls. So the shocks are actually good. As I said, it's very floaty, but that's quite normal for an E31. So it's actually good to go full throttle now to kind of clean up the valves and everything, top of the pistons, especially with the injector cleaner, and not baby the car. It's gonna run even better. Oh, it has the electric steering column. That is awesome. Transmission is smooth as butter. Clutch is a bit springy and it catches really high, but that's kind of typical for E31s. I think bleeding the clutch line would help a lot. We made it to Scottsdale. Ferrari. I want to buy that, but it needs to be broken. Let's hear the engine after 35 miles. Still working beautifully, and it still sounds great. Don't smell any oil burning. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Scottsdale is pretty. I love palm trees. Well-deserved beer. And michelada finick. My favorite Mexican. Shrimp for Maria. And quesadilla finick. Good morning. Another beautiful sunny day in Phoenix, Arizona. There's Nick. There's the 31. A cold start. What are the chances that the AC is working? What do you think? Press the AC button?
Yeah.
You think?
It's working.
No way. Now the radio. Stupid thing. So this radar detector just keeps going off constantly. And there's nothing. No cops, no radars, but the radio doesn't seem to be working, although it is asking for a code, so it's probably in the owner's manual somewhere over there. Go M70. Okay, it seems that the AC is working, which is pretty unbelievable because it's still running the old system. The ultimate driving machine. What is that? More like the original Windows sticker? No way. What does it say? What was the total price? $77,000. Ah, this car is unbelievable. It is totally original. The original radio, the phone. There it is. Look, 911. We need a bucket of rod bearings ASAP. I got the look. Oh, I'm loving this car so much. Everything is great with this car. And the AC is working, which is the most unbelievable thing to me. Like, it's been sitting for that many years and the Freon didn't leak out. And it's still on the old system, R12. We are approaching Desert Botanical Garden, Papago Park, hole in rock. Oh man, this looks so cool. Look at this. With the E31. We don't need to worry about door dings because it already has 3 million of them. Oh, what is this? Serious fun for the driving enthusiast. Oh man, look at this. What happened to you, BMW? Look at this. This is BMW. I wonder if you're gonna see any cactuses.
over there.
We are leaving Phoenix in the rearview mirror and we are heading towards LA. 391 miles to go. We've covered 102 miles with the car so far and knock on plastic, it's been absolutely perfect. Got so lucky with this car. I mean, to have working AC on this trip, and as you can see it's quite sunny and hot outside, it's just phenomenal. But our stay at Arizona was wonderful. Arizona is beautiful. I really like it here. Hold on to your rod bearings. Full throttle. 6,000 RPM. Pulls nicely. Whoops. A slight accident. His wheel fell off. Scheisse, man. That's bad. But let's accelerate. Oh man. We nearly arrived and the car is even better now that we went through a full tank of gas, cleaned up the valves, and now the throttle response is even better. It's very sharp, very responsive, pulls cleanly in every gear. I can even rev match. Look at this. You have to double tap the throttle to rev match on this car. V12 manual, hardly gets any better than that. We made it 480 miles done with the car, and it's been nothing short of perfect. This concludes this part of the journey. I'll see you in about 2 weeks.
Banana bread.
Aloha! Came back from Hawaii last night. Paradise, just paradise.
The next stop on our journey was my favorite place on earth, Santa Barbara. We loaded up the E31 and drove north to see old friends and enjoy this beautiful place. The goal for that evening was to get Freebirds, my favorite Mexican in Santa Barbara.
We are in IV, Isle Vista, and we're gonna get Freebirds now. This is the place in IV, Freebirds. Been dreaming about this since 2017 when I left. It smells exactly how I remember it. Rice, black beans, cheese, yeah.
Want meat?
Chicken. Green salsa, sour cream, pico de gallo. And I'll do guacamole as well. Gracias. Medium salsa, spicy one. Tacos, horchata, and burrito. That was deliciously spicy.
The last time I was here with Project Salt Lake City, the E46 M3, we ran out of time, but this time around we had to go and visit my old workplace, Bacar Resort and Spa. I started off as a pool server and served these cabanas that you see here. Eventually I ended up working in the resort's IT department, which was the best gig I had in my field. It's also where I met my buddy Nick and so many other great friends. This place means a lot to me and it was great to walk down memory lane.
So I'm in a certain place in Santa Barbara, and Here's one clue right over there.
Yeah, that's a twin turbo Dyna.
Twin turbo Dyna drivetrain, M70 engine. And then if you walk inside, ignore the beautiful Porsche. E31, Z1, couple M70 blocks over there. And this is Harold.
Hi there.
You might know him from Beamer Forums.
Cartoons.
There, that's him. So he reached out and I decided to stop by, and he has well, all of this is shop for E31s with all of the tools and stuff necessary.
I got 8 more E31s over at my house.
So he does really, really good work, and he knows absolutely everything about E31s. And he just showed me the original headlight tool, the original socket for the intake manifolds. I mean, just crazy. So what he wants to do now is dry ice blast the engine. Because in the last video, my experience with dry ice blasting was terrible, but he's doing actually something quite remarkable with this truck here. He's building a mobile green dry ice blasting business. Is that correct?
Yeah, the truck runs on clean burning fuel. It's natural gas, compressed natural gas. So I'm going to get all of the, environmentally friendly people that want something cleaned off, and I'll clean it off with as little impact as possible.
And that's the machine over there, and he has dry ice in the boxes right now.
Yeah,
so
I have 15 pounds of dry ice. I only need 500 of it, so I've got some extra stuff.
Okay, because he just asked me like 10 times, we gotta dry ice blast it.
It'll be shiny in about 40 minutes.
Okay, then let's do it. One of many keys.
Yeah, one of the several million keys that you have.
Oh, it starts so nice. But look at this, all of this lines up. They were never off. This as well. So this is what the engine bay looks like. It's all original. So you have Cosmo line everywhere. I think someone did something with the throttle bodies. Maybe someone refurbished them at some point,
Looks
but
like the throttle bodies were done.
other than that, you can see Cosmo line pretty much all over the place. This is Cosmo line. So this is to make up for the previous episode where I was really unhappy with the dry ice. It's a V10, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. V10 truck, only in the US. So this operation is up and running, as you can see. Not using gloves or anything?
No. Here's the thing. Dry ice will burn you if you let it sit in one place.
Ah, so as long as you move it.
If you put on gloves, the ice can go down behind the glove.
Oh.
And then you're
You're crazy for doing this. Thank you.
You gotta do something.
Well, I definitely didn't plan for this.
Visit Mr. Freeze and not actually experience Mr. Freeze.
So this is what I keep telling everyone. E31 community, it's like nothing else. I think it's the best car community in the world. I love how everyone takes care of each other. Like you have Ed, he's making like products that are no longer available, like discontinued. You have just people helping each other keep these cars on the road. And I love that.
There goes the Cosmo line. This is the Uber Cadillac version of dry ice machines.
45,000 bucks.
Just for the machine. No, I have people come in and do their engine bay, and I can do in an hour what it'll take a team of detailers all afternoon to do, and they'll only do about 80% of what I can do. You know, and it's 350 bucks to do an engine bay.
350 bucks?
Yeah.
Only?
Yeah.
Shit, that's absolutely worth it. What an absolute legend. So he's gonna thoroughly clean the engine bay, and in the meantime he gave me keys to his E46 M3 to run around, because I gotta go meet the missus and her sister, because we're gonna go for dinner later. But look, E46 M3 with a 6-speed manual. Me likey. Me likey very much. Oh, it has an exhaust as well. Sounds like a Honda Civic, raspy. So show him some love. I'm gonna leave his contact details in the description, and if you need dry ice blasting in Santa Barbara area, he's your guy. All right, we're back, and look what Harold did. This is the same engine bay as before, if you can believe it. So this is what I wanted to get done with my E31 Project Marseille, to remove all of the Cosmo line. Look how clean it is, like right over there. Look at this plastic here, all of that. This is how you do it, with proper equipment and proper knowledge. What's there to say?
Hey, when you know what you're doing and you have the right equipment, it's pretty easy.
Well, thank you again so much. I mean, I wasn't expecting this at all today.
Anytime. When you're in Santa Barbara, pop in.
Oh, I will. And I love the M3. The M3 is amazing. And it's for sale as well.
It is for sale.
So yeah, if you're looking for a nice clean...
Slick top M3.
There you go.
And with that, we reached the end of the journey with Project Phoenix. We covered over 600 miles with this incredible and indestructible machine. This is one of the cleanest E31s I've come across, and the one to keep, as finding one in this condition is a true rarity. Sadly, that's not a viable option for me, as I'm already restoring one and have 167 other projects. I had to say goodbye to this 850i, and I left it with Harold to find a new home, as he kindly agreed to show it to potential buyers. Big thank you to Harold, and here's a glimpse of two very special Dynon cars he has sitting at his house. E31 twin turbo Dynon making over 600 horsepower, and a sleeper E32 also with twin turbos making over 600 horsepower. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked this survive and drive episode, and I'll see you in the next one.